The null coalescing operator is something we can use to simplify our if statements when we need to check for the existence of a null value and provide some other default. For example, if we don't use the null coalescing operator, we typically end up with if statements that look something like this. We check for name being null. If it is null, then we provide some kind of default value. If the name is not null, then we use the name. So let's take a look at doing something like this, but instead using the null coalescing operator. Here we set a name, and then we want to get a result. What we want is, if the name is not null, then to just use the name. Otherwise, use this default string. The double question marks here signify the null coalescing operator. So let's go ahead and debug this and see it in action. So, as we've set name to a non-null value, we expect name here to be Sarah. Let's just check that, which it is. The next line we're about to execute here is to set our name to null. Then we reset our result. But this time, as name is equal to null, this won't be used. Instead, the right-hand side default value will be used instead. So let's just run to that line and check result again. And we can see here that the no name provided string has been set. Let's just stop debugging. We can use the null coalescing operator with nullable types. Here we have a nullable integer and we're setting it to null. We then do the same thing. We have a result. If the age is not null, then we just use the age. If it is null, we return a default value of 0. So let's just check that in action. And we can see here that the default 0 has been assigned to result. We can also chain the null coalescing operator. Here I've assigned a local default age and a global default age. And the age we're checking for, or the initial value, I've set to null. So when we try to set this result variable, first of all we look at age. If age is null, then we move to the right-hand side of the operator and we look at local default age. If this is null, which it is, we move across again to the global default age, which is set to 99. So whenever age is null, we effectively keep walking along to look for a non-null value. Let's see this in action. So here we expect result to be 99, which it is. So the null coalescing operator is a shorthand that we can use to provide a default value when a value is null.